Hey everyone, Sim for the Future here, with a bit of an unusable format, because, well, why not? I have an anamorphic lens now, so you are going to suffer the consequences of that. Welcome to this parking lot. I had some more advanced ideas, but ultimately I couldn't bring myself to it, so we are stuck here. And just for starters, this is going to contain some political things, so if that's not your jam, just move along. Now, usually this video at the end of the year is me reflecting on the channel and looking at the future, but considering there isn't much to reflect on, because I mostly shut the channel down, we're just going to do a little bit of future stuff and a little bit of is there anything to expect at this point, and what is my general thought on making content on this platform. So just to start out, at the beginning of this year I mostly stopped making synthesizer related content. I made a whole video about it. In short, it just takes up a lot of time, it doesn't make any money, and there's way too much competition for it to be interesting from a reach perspective. So I ultimately figured, well, there's way too many people out there doing that already. I'm not really adding anything to that pool, so I might as well just get out of the way, and that's what I did. It was also just taking up too much time, and at the time I said to myself I will just use that time for more productive things, like actually making music again. Well, that didn't work out. As you can see on my channel, very little new music has been released. The most things that have been released are some cooking videos, which are just a way to test some video gear, to put it really bluntly. But it's also fun to make cooking videos, so there will be more in the future. But I don't think it will be in the same format that I've been using so far. It will be a little bit more planned and definitely shorter cut. So that's something that will stay. Aside from that, I'm having some thoughts about YouTube as a platform in its entirety, because it still seems like YouTube is really not doing much to give smaller creators a chance to reach an audience. There's a bunch of big creators which have a steady audience, which will reach people, and then there's a lot of slop channels, AI channels and other crap that sort of fill the void, and every now and then a random small channel will be interjected, but mostly ignored by the YouTube overlords, which doesn't really inspire to keep doing this format of content. And I know that there's a lot of people that say, well, you should just adapt to the new circumstances. I don't feel like that's reasonable, to be honest. Because that would mean that I have to change what I want to make in order to fit the algorithm, and I'm not into that stuff. So I'm not doing that. We are just going to keep making some cooking videos every so often, but for the most part this channel will just be quiet until I find some inspiration to make some music again, and then I want to start doing some music video stuff, which is also the reason why I got an anamorphic lens and why I've upgraded my video gear, because it's definitely not for the general YouTube stuff. This is definitely a thing I want to expand on with videography. But well, without music that's kind of pointless, because it's just going to be videos of cats, which will, by the way, happen, so stay tuned for that. There will be anamorphic cinematic cat videos someday soon-ish. But the main reason for me not making more videos right now is just the overall political climate. And I'm not an American, as might be apparent maybe, but we still suffer the consequences from the government that is currently active in America. And not just sort of direct with all the tariff stuff and the hostilities towards Europe and all that sort of stuff. I mean, that's pretty bad. But what is even worse is that we now have political parties at this side of the sea actually trying to copy the MAGA movement, which is, well, every bit as horrible as you would think. These people are completely devoid of empathy. They are just trying to blame everything on foreigners, say that traditions are holy, And they are into that whole fake Christianity thing, which is blowing up in America as well, which just makes life pretty miserable because the entire social media landscape is now just mega content everywhere. And also Dutch mega content, although they just call it nationalism, but it's really just a copy of whatever MAGA is saying is what we see in the news here as well. And of course, 24/7 coverage of the orange man in the office of America shouting complete bullshit devoid of any truths and apparently getting away with it. So it now just feels like the world is allowed to be as fake as it wants to be because there's no consequences to anything anymore. And that sort of thing really, really, really crushes my morale, which is of course the entire idea of this movement, is to quiet the people that don't like those ideas until they eventually can be overpowered just by not having a voice anymore. And that's the reason why I don't fully want to quit YouTube, because even though it's only the smallest of things, I do want to at least be a little bit of an activist for reason and for empathy. I think that's the most important thing, because that's something, once we lose empathy, all hope is gone for humanity. That's basically the only thing that sort of makes this entire global thing work, is caring about other people, caring about other people's needs and helping people out. And also sort of Christian values, if you actually bother to read the damn book, which I bet most people haven't even done. But I'm getting off base because I'm not a Christian and I don't give a fuck about religion at all. So just to make sure, before anyone goes like, oh, well, you're such a big Christian. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Just be a fucking ethical person. Be nice to people, help people out, be kind to people, be understanding to people's situation. And that's way more important than following some imaginary dude in the sky, I assume, because these people also assume that the galaxy doesn't exist or something. I don't know, man. It's just so incredibly tiring. It's also the first time I think I've sworn in a video. Yay, new things, new years, new me. More abrasive me, that's for sure. Because that's another thing, I've really tried to keep politics out of my videos. I've really tried to keep my videos very objective and family friendly and all that sort of stuff, but I think we're past the point where that's going to fly. From now on out, it's just going to be whatever it is going to be said, whether you like it or not. This is just who I actually am. I'm a person who cares about other people. I'm a person who cares about what's happening in the world, and I think that's something that is reasonably to be expected to be voiced at some point or another. So yeah, 2026, it will be, once again, probably a pretty horrible year for most people. We're going to see more AI bullshit, we're going to see more angry orange men blaming everything and everyone for everything he has caused. We will be seeing more billionaires fucking up the world, we will be seeing more data centers, we will see more power issues, we will be seeing more China invading Taiwan, we will be seeing more Russia bombing Ukraine, because that's the new normal now, which is to me completely insane. But I guess we just have to go with it, because what else are we going to do? I could write an angry song, I could say a few words, I could say, go fuck yourself, Putin. Does it change anything? No, it doesn't at all. So that's, man, I'm just annoyed, you know? I bet you've been annoyed as well with this entire thing. And if anyone has a solution for this entire thing, I would love to know, because at this point I'm just kind of doom spending on camera gear combined with playing video games to forget that there's actually a life out there to live. That's sort of the mood I'm in right now, and it's not the mood I want to be in. So for 2026, I think my biggest resolution would be to try to get into contact with some people again, and to try to get some music out there, and to try to at least contribute in some positive way to the world, and to see if we can do something at least. That's it for me from this parking lot near the Hornbach. And I'm just going to quickly see if I can dim the lens a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So you can actually get a little bit of a look at the glorious Hornbach. There you go. Great store if you need stuff. Anyways, that's me for this year. More renting complaints next year in glorious anamorphic aspect ratios. See ya.